And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us names. I can feel the sun.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is Thursday, February 29th, 2024, and this is episode 644 of the Lots Project podcast, and it's titled, Why Not 13? And I'll be chatting about the 13-month calendar laundromat fund from yesterday, an interesting sight on my way home from my trip to town, and much, much more. But first, let's check in with the coffee crew, see who's hanging out in the chat, grab a cup of coffee, and we will talk for a little bit here. Good morning. Good morning. It is Leap Day. Good morning, Chris Dixon with the happy Leap Day. Yes, April 29th. Here we are again, leap year, April 29th. Good morning, Mike Homestead. Thanks for swinging in. Chris, we missed you. Were you on vacation? Are you on vacation? I think you went on vacation, but welcome back. Welcome back. Jen G, welcome back again. Wow. You must have a messed up sense of humor like the rest of us that hang out here because you keep coming back. I appreciate you keep coming back. Thank you very much. Thank you for hanging out with the crew. Good morning, Pickle Pete. How we doing? How's the One Take Records rolling? I see what do you play? Wheel of usernames in the morning? I know you can't use Food Forest Farms because YouTube, for some reason, decided to block us. But do you just do the wheel of the wheel of usernames? Oh man, what's in the cup this morning? It is really good. I'm running a little behind this morning, so that was actually my first. That was actually my first sip of anything, and it's good. It's good. Nothing like having Hector in your mouth. Hector, the light Colombian, in my cup this morning and in and about my mouth, and it is fantastic. It is fantastic. It's nothing better than that. Just, I think I really, really nailed it. I really nailed it when I went to starting my hand grind when the water in the teapot starts to steam. I haven't got a thermometer on it. I haven't even checked it. I just know that it tastes better, so I know it's closer to that 202. Some people say 199. I was doing some reading, and what do you say to that, old coffee professional Pickle Pete? Is it 202 or 199 for the perfect temperature for coffee? Oh no. Oh, Chris Dixon. Chris was on vacation and he was injecting some cash into the border crisis. Perfect. Rewilder Life, good morning. You're running a little late there too. I mean, it is an extra day, guys. It's an extra day. So let's do what we want with it. We can play. We can enjoy ourselves. We can relax because this is just an extra day. February 29th. It only comes around every 4 years. You get to save up that quarter day for 3 years. And then on the 4th year, you get to spend it all in one shot. What a great idea. What a great idea. Pickle Pete says 198 to 204 is heavily debated. Oh, wait, he says hotly debated. Chris Dixon says it's just an extra tax day. Ain't that the fucking truth? If we all just stopped and did nothing today, what would that look like? Tune in, turn on, drop out. Today's the day. Maybe. What is on my list for today? I mentioned it earlier. I want to talk about 13-month calendar a little bit. I've been thinking about that for a while now, actually. Corey and I have been kind of bantering back and forth on it a little bit here and there. And then she finally said yesterday or the day before, she's like, hey, what a perfect day to talk about 13-day calendar on leap year day. And that's why I love my wife, because I wouldn't have thought of it. I wouldn't have thought about it. I understand the concept, and as I started digging into it, I was like, this really makes more sense the more I read about it, and it makes even more sense why they haven't shifted, why they originally used the 12-month calendar, the 10-month calendar, all of that. I was like, oh yeah, it all fits into it. So Chris Dixon says, I'd like to see us do it for 60 days and take our lives back. Dude, I've been doing it for a year. I love my wife so much. All right. 13-month calendar. 13-month calendar. Oh, before I get to that, a couple of days, it might actually be today. I think today might be the last day to get your early bird tickets for SRF this spring. I don't have it on the calendar because I don't have the calendar up, but I believe today is the last day for early bird tickets. If you want to shoot over to Camden, Tennessee, April 6th and 7th. I can never remember. I'm so horrible with this. April 6th and 7th, Saturday and Sunday. There are classes going on the day before. The day after, my buddy Kerry Brown's doing a property walk on that Monday. So, man, if you could take a long weekend and stick around for Monday and do Kerry's walk, man, the guy is phenomenal on his property walks, on his foraging or plant ID walks. And he has a route planned out there at the SOE compound that is just, it's lights out. Kerry really, really strives to bring value to anything that he does, and especially if he charges for it. He's like me. He goes above and beyond to make sure that's a value for value exchange and worth every penny. So if you're thinking about coming to SRF and you can stay an extra day, I definitely highly encourage you to sign up for Kerry Brown's. I think it's called, I saw it announced yesterday or the day before. I think it's the Food Around Us. Or Corey, did you happen to see the name of that Kerry's walk? Yeah, it's on Monday. I didn't catch the name. I'll have to dive into that better. But yes, on Monday, Kerry's doing a walk, and it'll be worth every penny if you sign up. But if you can't stay for Monday, can't make Friday, definitely sign up for the weekend. Grab a ticket. You can grab them online. You can grab them virtually. You can grab them and watch virtually and interact in a live stream, or show up and press the flesh and participate that way. So link is in the video description. Link is in the audio description. Head on over there today, because like I said, today is the last day you can grab those early bird pricing tickets. And I'm sorry, I'm furiously trying to find this link, and I've just had a very bad morning being prepared to do all this stuff. I usually have it copied and just running behind this morning, guys. It's cold. It's cold here is what happened. We went and dropped temperature again. There it is. And Mike's Homestead says, thanks. Early bird pricing for general admission tickets expires on March 1st. There it is. March 1st. Oh, good morning, Pip. Thanks for stopping in. And Cormac, good morning. Good afternoon. I believe your afternoon. If we could get, is it afternoon yet? It's like 12:09 there, isn't it? I think we can do afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, or good night. Is that Truman Show? Good morning, and if I don't see you, good afternoon and good night. It's no good. We need Phil, the Philippine nomad, or our Bitcoin winner, John Toreto, to show up, and then we'd have the evening guys over on the other side. So midday. There we go. If you guys haven't checked out the interview I did with Cormac, you got to check it out. Permaculture Vine Permaculture Podcast. It was a fun chat. We got to talk about comfrey. talked about hip camp. We talked about the dogs. It was a good chat. I've been trying to hook up with Cormac for like 6 months, I think. Is back when we were like, hey, let's do an interview. And finally got it done. So check that out. I've been sharing it on socials, and it's in I believe it's in the Telegram chat and channel. Thanks, Rachel. Rachel said she's going to listen today while she cleans. It'll stimulate and rivet you so much that you won't even know you're cleaning. You won't even know you're cleaning. Oh, all right, guys. Calendar. With it being leap day, with it being February 29th, do you guys have any February 29th leap year day shenanigans or experiences where you're like, hey, it was leap year, that thing happened, I'll never happen again? Or do you know anybody born on leap year day? I saw an article, a lady that is turning 100. She's turning 100 today? So she's actually 25. Hunter says his grandpa was a leap year guy. I don't think I've ever met anybody that was a leap year person. I don't think. I always remember talking about it. Chris Dixon says his brother was a leap year baby. Huh. Nice. Cormac's cleaning the kitchen listening to this show right now. Oh man, you got to be careful because you might laugh so hard listening to this show that you might spill something and have to clean more. Sit down and hold on. No liquids or breakables while you listen to this show. Rachel had a lab born today. He'd be 20. Man, he would be a 40-year-old lab, or would he be 20 if you celebrated every year? Okay, for Chris and Hunter, for you people that know people or close to people that have a leap year birthday, do they celebrate on the 28th, or do they celebrate on the 1st, or do they really just play it up and say, yeah, I ain't doing it this year? It's got to be kind of, as a kid, it's got to be, he'd be 2. I'm confused. I'm confused. Oh, God. Oh, man. Hunter says he doesn't ever remember celebrating Grandpa's birthday. Huh. Interesting. Ryler Life wants comments to delete. It's okay. I'm gonna just be more confused than I'm normally confused, so that's all right. I am normally utterly confused, especially when like Kyle or somebody shows up, the Backwoods Butcher. When he gets in the comments, I read things and I'm like, what? Mike Sohm says, didn't even know Cormac had a podcast until a week ago, until he was on the Pimpcast. I have since followed and gone back and listened to several episodes. Cormac's a good shit, man. His journey has been interesting one, and I know kind of the back end story of it. And man, what a hard worker, what a perseverance, and way to do it, man. Even when the shit doesn't go the way you'd hoped. Dixon says they did March 1st. Okay, I was wondering. I was actually in a car accident on leap year day, and it may or may not have been my fault. May or may not have been in high school, and you know, freshly snowed and iced roads in the morning on your way to school is a little tempting for some adolescent boys to resist, and somebody might have overexerted the gas pedal when sending the rear end of the car around in a circle and lost control. And damn it, if it hadn't have been leap year day, Would have never happened. Reliance Life says that's in the Telegram for the podcast. Not at the moment. I can get it in there for you, Rachel. For the Cormac interview, it will be there momentarily. Will be there momentarily. I think I put it there before, but it'll be at the bottom now for you when you are ready to clean. So the 13-month calendar thing. I thought the leap year was the leap year day would be the best day to do it. After my beautiful wife put me straight and said, you have to do this. This just makes sense. And so I started looking into it. For a long time, it's kind of like tiptoed in my brain. You really need to have breakfast right now, don't you? Chris Dixon says he rolled his first truck on February 19th. Stupid memory. I like that. So it's been something that's kicked around in my head, in passing. I've seen it. Like, there's a reason it feels natural, because it is. When you look around, and I'm a very, like, things need to line up, things need to make sense. And when you think about all the different things that we account time with, namely weeks. I always, as a kid, when people would say, oh, the month has 4 weeks, and my brain goes, a week 7 days, a month is 4 weeks. Why is the month 30 days? Why is the month 31 days? You keep telling me that a month has 4 weeks, but there's only one month that actually has 4 weeks. And that month even only has 4 weeks 3 out of 4 years. So a long time ago, that just didn't sit right. And I mean, it should have been the clue right there. Oh no, we're having temperature wars in the comments. Reweiler Life saying she's starting her car in the Great Frozen North, and Dixon's poking the bear and telling her that way up in there in Canada it's 55. God, I hope that's not 55C. So right from the beginning, right from when I was a kid, and right when you're learning calendars, you're learning time. And it just didn't sit. Pickle Pete says, why not make February 30 days and get rid of the few 31s? Because do you know why August and July and August have 31 days? Here's a little history fact for you. July and August were instituted during the Roman Empire. Let me see if it was the Roman Empire. You guys know that, like, Rome went through different stages of government. I believe it was would have been the empire, because they had a monarchy, a republic, and an empire in the 3 different stages of the Roman civilization. I believe it was empire. They remade the calendar from a 10-month calendar. At this time in Rome, it was a 10-month calendar. They adjusted the calendar to a 12-month calendar. They added July and August. And named them after Julius Caesar and his successor, Augustus Caesar. July, Julius Caesar; Augustus Caesar, August. And they said, well, they need to have 31 days because they're named after Romans and they're more important. There you go. That's why July and August have 31 days. Backwoods Butcher, good morning, folks. Yeah, good morning, Backwoods Butcher. We were talking about you earlier this morning and how confusing you are. Sometimes. Rewilder Life says, how about we have none and just enjoy the moon and the stars and the seasons? That is my goal in life, Rachel. Actually, one of my deepest, longest running goals in my life is to get to a point in my life where I don't have to wear a watch. I don't need to know what time it is. I don't need to know what day it is. I don't need to know what month it is. And all I need to do is look around me and observe to understand what needs to be done. And the more I dug into why we have this fucked up measure of time being the 12-month calendar, the more it goes back to control and power. The more it goes back to that's the way we do it and we can't change it. This is how we do it. It goes to a lot of business. It goes to a lot of people holding on to things that they feel very important. So the 13-month calendar, how that works is there's 28 days times 13. Then we have one extra day. Does that work? Is that right? Yep. 13 times 28, 364. It's 365 days. We have one day that's not a part of anything. It's what the Christians globbed onto and said was the resurrection. That represents resurrection. But as I dug, and the first three articles said that that this is solely based in Christianity, the 13-month calendar and all of time capture and recording is because of God and all of this and whatever. It doesn't matter to me what you believe, but really the calendar was around. The 13-month to 28-day calendar has been around a long time before that. But I guess if you believe that God made it all and all those people before Christianity were just confused or something, that's cool. The 13-month calendar was around with the Aztecs, loosely based. The Aztecs, I mean, they weren't like, they didn't have, well, I don't know what they had. I wasn't there. But it was a loosely based calendar, and the Aztecs, the Egyptians, way back in Sanskrit, there are records of a 13-month, 28-day-ish calendar. And why would that make sense? Why would that make sense? Maybe it's because the moon cycles are 28 days. Maybe it's because there's 13 constellations that are easily recognizable from the Earth. Maybe it's because of a human female's gestation cycle, not gestation cycle, that's 9 months, but and wait, Corey, what's the gestation period of a human baby? 40 weeks, 10 months of 28 days, right? Not 9 months and some change. Weird. 40 days, 40 weeks, 40 weeks. So if we had 4 weeks in a month, it would actually be 10 months, not 9 months and a little bit extra. The woman's menstrual cycle, because I was corrected 100 times in high school health class. It's not menstruation, it's menstruation, because that was the most important thing in my world at that time, that I needed to know how to pronounce an extra RU in menstruation. 28 days. Corey said she was always upset when she was a kid and they were teaching, not a kid, an adolescent. They're teaching her to track her periods. And she's like, well, it would be really convenient if it started on the same day every month and didn't just keep rotating. And I got to count 28 days against 31, 30, 29, 28, whatever. Let's just roll the dice and figure out which it is. So, man, math really tells you. Kyle says, I think someone lied to you. What? My high school health teacher lied to me. So 28 days just naturally makes sense. $28 days makes sense. And then you have the whole turtle thing. If you're a fan of turtles, if you're a fan of the flying turtle theory, that we're all on the back of a big turtle shell floating through the cosmos. Again, like you do you. I can't doubt you for believing in flying turtles and then legitimize someone else that believes in some other god. I can't. Like, you can believe in the flying turtles if you want. I just know that the majority of turtles on the face of the earth have 13 main sections in the middle of their shell with 28 sections around the outside. Ancient cultures have used turtle shells to keep time, to keep a calendar. Jen's wondering about flying turtles. There's just one flying turtle, and he hangs out with the spaghetti monster, the great spaghetti monster. If you don't know about the great spaghetti monster or other similar fringe religions, you should the flying spaghetti monster. You should really dive into those. But ancient civilization used turtle shells as a calendar. There was a push in the mid 1800s, and then again, Pickle Pete loves Pastafarians. I love it. Rewilder Life says we're gonna teach Jen to be weird. Jen doesn't show up on Friday. Those guys are talking about flying turtles and Pastafarians. Oh no. Good morning, Canadian Farmstead. How are we doing? So in the mid 1800s, it was like 1862, maybe. That number's sticking in from my reading yesterday. The international, what? Oh man, the name is escaping me. It was the international. Oh man, sorry guys, this is horrible. I don't know where this went. International Standard Calendar, I believe. Sorry, I've looked at so many different articles on this, and it was really same nonsense, different day. Yeah. They tried to propose it. Somebody said, hey, this doesn't make sense. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing 12 months and not 13? Pickle P says, why, and figuring out why we got 12 months instead of 13. Well, originally it was 10 months. Because I told you about them adding July and August. In the Roman Empire. That was to realign with nature, because their 10-month calendar was too far off. That they got together with some Jesuit priests and they studied things and they said, well, this is as close as we can come. We can give you these 2 extra months with 31 days, and every 4 years we're going to have to add in a day because it's not quite there. So we went to 12 months from 10 months. It's all a lot of it was behind religious observations. I try to stay out of the religious stuff. As soon as I started seeing that it was dictated by God, it was this or that, I went to a different article. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I'm not there yet, guys. I'm not there yet. But anyway, there's been people throughout history that have tried to shift from this god awful thing, and the thing that stuck out to me about this, and the reason it makes no sense, besides what we talked about, the menstrual cycles, the moon cycles, the turtles, everything along the way, like a 7th grade algebra problem, close enough. Yeah, for sure. The thing that struck me that somebody said was, okay, so we know how many seconds are in a minute. So these are our delineations of time: seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years, weeks, centuries, decades, whatever you want to do. Dixon says, why do January, May, December have 31 days? Man, it was honoring gods. It was honoring gods, from what I understand. But anyway, the thing that stuck out to me was this guy said, think about the delineations of time we have. And we know exactly what they are. You got a minute has 60 seconds. An hour has 60 minutes. A day has 24 hours. A week has 7 days. A year has 365 days. A decade has 10 years. How many days are in a month? How many days are in a month? And he said that, and I went, and he goes, 28, 29, 30, 31, take your pick. What if we went, hey, how many minutes are in an hour? And people went, I don't know, 51, 57, 60, 62. Depends on the hour. Would we be okay with that? Does anybody really know what time it is? So somebody proposed this. Somebody proposed this back in the 1800s. They went, hey, there's this great thing that we've seen throughout history. This hour has 22 minutes. Thanks, Chris. So we look back at history and we see all these wonderful societies and these advanced societies that we talk about, the Aztecs and the Incas, and where we've seen the 13-month calendar, the Egyptians. And they said, well, this just makes sense. This makes sense. Let's propose this. We can get this changed. Obviously, throughout history, we've changed the calendar. We've gone from the 10 months through the 12 months, and before that, it was what it was. Like this was put forth in the 1500s. I think the 10-month calendar. No, that's way late. Sorry, my dates got all messed up. Sorry. Kyle, it's just not working for you this morning, man. Did you have your Hector, your light Colombian? Everybody just ignores Kyle's comments in the chat, because Jesus. Oh, anyway, they proposed this back in the mid 1800s. It didn't fly. They proposed it in the early 1900s again, and it didn't fly. here are the reasons. So we would think that we got pretty solid reasons to go to a 28-day cycle, a 28-day month, 13 months, and then 1 day of rest, however you want to look at that. We have reasons as much as the cycles of women, the moon cycles, the seasons. Actually, one of the reasons they were trying to reset the calendar when it went from 10 to 12 was because they were trying to reset it to the seasons also. But all these things that we talked about that make sense for 28 days. It makes sense. Everything's the same, Monday through Friday, or Sunday through Saturday, every month. The first is on so wherever you wanted to start it. The first could be on a Monday. The 7th to be on a Saturday. The first day of the month is on a Monday. The last day of the month is on a Saturday or Monday and a Saturday, Sunday. Excuse me. Whew. It's the same every month. It's the same every year. It's repeatable. It's predictable. You don't have to go, what day of the week is the second on this month? I got to pay my credit card. Is that on a Sunday? Is the payment going to go through? Oh, I got to pay it 2 days earlier this month. None of that bullshit. You know the first is on a Monday. You know the 28th is on a Sunday. It is what it is. Repeatable, cyclical. We get in a groove. We get some vibrations rolling in the right direction. So they said, well, I have all these great reasons for this 28-day calendar, and we need to change it. So we're going to add in a month. We're going to shift everything. Reliable Life said it would mess up a trip around the sun. It would mess up our convoluted tracking of trips around the sun. Because now everything would shift. Unless you had your birthday in the first 28 days of January, everything is going to shift. It's going to shift. Oh, they had names for the added month. They had names, and Soul, I believe, was the proposed name of the added month, and it was going to come around July, between June and July, I believe. Some of the pushback was, Mike says, what happens with the extra day? The extra day is a non-day. It doesn't belong to any month. It doesn't belong to anything. It's basically it's a holiday. It's a holiday. Kyle says, I don't want to relearn the months. Don't worry, man. You're not going to have to. They're not going to do this. They've tried twice already. New Year Day. Hunter gets it. Actually, New Year's, if you didn't know, is like April 1st. It's not January. Not January. We threw it all out of whack. The new year starts in the spring, when everything is born, when everything starts, when everything begins. We can go into root definitions of words, of months, and what they mean. And you'd be really surprised that April means like, let's start here. Let's start here. So they proposed this. They said, Canadian Farmstead, 28 days has September, April, June, and Soul, July, August, May, February, March. They all have them. Backwoods Butcher says, I see what you did there, April Fools. Well, actually, Kyle, there is a theory out there that April Fool's Day is a construct that happened because now they've moved the alignment of the beginning of the year away from April 1st, which is the rebirth of Christ. They believe because of the shifting calendar and the shifting days that the resurrection was actually April 1st. And now that they've moved it and you're not celebrating the new year with the birth of Christ, you're a fool and we're fooling you. So April Fool's Day. That was in my reading yesterday. Nah, take it for what it is. But these guys in 1862, the Cogsworth Plan was 1904. I don't remember the name of the one from the 18th. Sorry, guys, my notes were all messed up this morning. I had all this great information and it's in the ether. That's kind of why I was scrambling to get ready. But they threw it out there for all these great reasons. They they said they presented their case. Weird. Somebody presented a logical, rational case for something that makes sense. And they said, no, we can't do that, America. Because this was proposed in America. And at that time, I think if America had gone the way of this calendar, it would have been adopted worldwide. The people in America were fighting back because you know why? Man, if we change that calendar to 13 months, and I don't know if they had Southern redneck accents back in the 1800s. I think it was more like English, light English accents. But man, if we changed the calendar, 4th of July wouldn't line up, man. Like no shit. We didn't go to a more effective calendar and tracking of time because of fucking July 4th. Because it would be now Soul 17. I read that and my eyeballs almost started bleeding. That's like the original America right there. Like, let's make that decision. Some other reasons. Other reasons. Chris Dixon. Don't push that metric calendar on me. Metric. America. Fuck yeah. It's the original America. Some of the other reasons and the two bouts to get this changed in recent history in the mid 1800s, early 1900s, because of business accounting. We can't change this because businesses are set up quarterly. They're set up quarterly. And if we had quarterly things to do, it would have to be 3 months and 1 week. How would we ever adjust things to be able to account for 3 months and 1 week? Nah, we'll just stick with this 31, 30, 28, 29, 21, 31. Like, what the? Who the fuck? Why? Because accounting couldn't be done easily with 4 weeks in every freaking month. We can adjust easily to every quarter being 3 plus 1 week. 13 weeks. Oh, it doesn't end on the end of the month. I don't know. Jen G now has Team America going through her head. You're welcome. At least it's not REM today. Backwoods Butcher says I should write a letter. I think I am going to write a sternly worded letter. Guys, I feel bad. I had a lot of really cool facts and things that I wanted to bring to you, but for some reason they misappeared in the transfer between my phone and my computer because I did a lot of the research on my phone. I have to put a better case together for this and really present it to you guys. Maybe I'll do a video that I can read the notes and things like that. Chris Dixon says, but people are happy getting paid for the month on the 23rd. Oh, Pickle Pete, perfect. Pickle Pete says, hey, Kyle, when you go on Survivor, talk about the 13 month calendar in every tribal council. Guys, you got to keep me around because I follow the 13-month calendar and I am actually younger than I appear. Oh, Hunter, to whom this will concern, I hope this letter finds you before I do. It has come to my attention that this world will be much better with a 13-month calendar. So screw 4th of July, screw your quarterly inventories. Let's change. You can't kick me out of Survivor on a leap month. I'm choosing today as my free day. I run on my own calendar. Jeff, I want a ruling. I want a ruling on being able to be kicked off on my free day. Jeff Probst, are you 13-month calendar guy? Anyway, I got two quick little things from my trip yesterday. I took a trip down to just start post-dating all your checks to the 13-month calendar. Who writes checks anymore? Why? Kyle says Probst wears all. That's why he wears all the blue shirts. What the hell does blue shirt and 13-month calendar have in common? The UN is not in favor of the 13-month calendar. Anyway, yesterday I went to do laundry. Two notable events. Canadian Farmstead says people who don't learn how to use Bitcoin write checks. Ah. Oh, Kyle, I offered to teach you how to buy Bitcoin when it was $17,000. How's that working out for you? Anyway, yesterday I showed up to the laundromat and I stop at the ATM on the way there to grab some cash because I need quarters. And the ATM is ridiculous now. $4 fee. $4 to take money out. So I usually want to take $20 out. I mean, finally got my head out of my butthole and started taking out 100 for multiple months. Kyle says that not buying Bitcoin at 17,000 hasn't affected him much. It would have if you had bought it. I didn't take my vitamins today. It didn't affect me much. So it was $4 to take it out. So I mean, $4 on taking out a 20 spot is just silly. So take out 100, and the goddamn machine gives me $100 bill. There's quarters there's a quarter machine at the laundromat, and I'm not going to put $100 bill in the fucking quarter machine. I do put a 20 in, and I carry a little baggie, and I put all my extra quarters in there. So I'm like, shit, do I need to stop at the gas station to get this thing broken, or will the girl at the laundromat be able to give me change? Rolled the dice. I went to the laundromat. I walk in. I'm like, hey, can you give me change? Can you break this? I don't want to put 100 in that machine. She says, well, that's good because it won't take 100. It'll only take up to a 20. And I said, well, thanks. You really think I was going to put $100 bill in a quarter machine? So she gives me like a 20 and 7 10s and 2 5s. And so Chris Dixon says it's like winning at slots though. I give the biggest dad joke of all time every time I'm there, and I put a 20 in and it takes forever. It's like clink 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 forever. And I look at the nearest person, and if they're looking at me, she's like, I'm like, I always break even. Every time. The girl behind the counter always rolls her eyes and chuckles. Just break even. Get it? Because you put the same in, you get the same out. Anyway, she gives me all this change. I go out. I wanted to make sure I didn't have to go get change for my 100 somewhere else, so I didn't get the laundry out. I grab a basket, rolly basket. I go grab my laundry. I got it all piled up. I put the detergent on the top of the laundry basket. Corey and I make our own detergent, so it's just powder in a jug that we have. And I start rolling it in, and the wind blows, and something goofy went on, and all of a sudden my jug of detergent went boom and hit the concrete. I'm like, oh no, because I make it every other time I go, and it's enough for 2 rounds. And it was the second round. So I was like, shit, if I spill a bunch, I don't think I'll be able to get laundry done. And then that would be really bad. Corey would be really, really mad. Guys, I do feel safe at home. Anyway, it spills on the ground. I pick up the container and it just spilled out a little, and I was very happy. But later, when I came back out to the truck, I look at the parking lot. It looks like a big pile of Coke in the parking lot. So that was the start to that. I go in. I go into the laundromat. I get my stuff in the washers, and I go to get my change. And I put the 20 in the quarter machine, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, it takes a while, and it takes a while to go in. It takes a while for all the quarters to stop back. And so I had just dropped my laundry detergent. So I was kind of like, so I kind of roll my head back. If you're watching the video, you can see I roll my head back and I close my eyes and I'm like rolling my shoulders a little bit. And all of a sudden, some guy's like, I fucking hate laundry too. I open my eyes. I'm like, what? And this dude is like standing like 3 feet from me, staring at me. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, but we got to do it, right? We got to do it. We got to wash our clothes. I'm like, uh-huh. Yup, sure do. Leave me the fuck alone, crazy dude. Yeah, scared the shit out of me. So laundry goes without a problem. Washer's great. Got them in the dryer, hanging out, researching, doing some stuff. Dryer's getting close, so I go in and I sit next to the dryer. I sit next to the dryer on the table, and this kid is running around, and this kid is like off the walls, misbehaved. Mom's got her Bluetooth in. She's folding laundry. Every once in a while, she'll look over, and the little fucking carpet rat is like off somewhere doing something, and she like yell across the laundromat, "Get over here and sit down!" Kid would walk over. One time she yelled at the kid to sit down, and he like crawled in the dryer, and I almost like kicked it with my heel and shut it. I'm like, what the? So I've been telling Corey ever since Poopapalooza in the truck on our way back from Squatch Fest, where the dog had diarrhea all over the inside of the truck and his brothers and everything while we were driving through Tacoma with a travel trailer. It was one of the more disgusting things I've ever dealt with in my life. But ever since then, 2 things have happened. One is I have an extreme gag reflex to shit smell, especially dog shit smell. Like literally walking the dogs, and they'll take a dump, and I'll like it. I can't control it. Corey's like, "You're being dramatic." I'm like, I don't try to do this. So that's one thing. The other thing is I can like smell shit from like a mile away now. Like if somebody farts in the camper down the road, I think I can smell it. I don't know. This is like I have this uncanny ability to sniff out fucking shit. This kid, I swear to God, had a shitty pants. Because he would walk away and it would get less. It would get less and start to go away. And then he would come back when mom would yell at him and reel him in, and the shit smell would just get stronger. I'm pretty sure the kid had shitty pants. And I had to smell it. So that was my laundry day. I went over to Kroger, and man, I am so glad I started going to Kroger instead of Walmart. You guys probably aren't, because I don't have any good stories from Kroger other than that they're fantastic, super nice, and I always have a great time and never am upset when I leave that store. So there is that. Pickle P says bionic sniffer. No, it's only shit though. Like I don't smell other things like extremely far away or faintly or things like that. It's just shit that I smell. Unfortunately, this is my curse. This is my curse. I live my life smelling shit everywhere. But I went to Kroger. That was great. And I'm driving home. I'm on my way home, driving along. And it's kind of back roads, not dirt roads, but like 2-lane, old 45-mile-an-hour, twisty woods, farmland kind of drive. And I'm driving along, and there's a lot of animals. There's a lot of deer around here. There's a shitload of stray dogs. Not quite as many as Texas, but quite a few. So there's always dogs on the side of the road. People don't fence their dogs in or tie them up or anything. Just let them wander, especially there, which is what it is. But they're in the ditches and this and that. So I'm always kind of keeping an eye out. I don't want to hit a dog. I don't want to hit a deer. I don't want to hit anything. And so I'm rolling along about 45, minding my own business on the way home. I'm going to go unload the Corey's done with work. We're going to have a good evening. And I see this thing on the side of the road. And I didn't notice it on the way there. I take the same way there and back. And I'm like, what is that? What is that? And I'm getting closer, and I'm like slowing down a little bit. I'm like, what is that? It's in the ditch. It's like laying inside the ditch. I was like, that looks like a dead deer, but it looks like more than a dead deer. Now, we have a lot of vultures around here, and they like really get on those dead deer pretty quick. And so I was thinking maybe it's vultures. Canadian Farm says, wondering if it was a little armored one. No, it wasn't a little armored one. It was a deer. It was a deer. I rolled up onto it. I was down to about 10 miles an hour. I was just like slow rolling past it. And I saw one of the things that is like my nightmare if I had dogs. There was a terrier-sized dog with his head in the deer's guts from the belly, head deep, like they tore a hole in his belly, and he was head deep in that inside the deer. And then around the backside was his lab friend, about the size of a larger lab, with his head straight up the deer's ass, literally up to their shoulders, both of them. One from the belly, one from the ass. The deer was on its side, but the legs were kind of up in the air, rigor mortis and all. And I'm like looking at this. It was like a train wreck, guys. I had to slow down. I'm like, am I seeing this? Am I seeing this? Really? And then I'm like, that's amazing. And then I started thinking about what that's going to smell like if those dogs are people's dogs that are going to come home. They're going to like run up to the door. They're going to be like, you're home from work. Shaking its ass and all excited and everything. And you go to pet the dog and you're like, what the fuck is that? They were eating this deer from the inside out. Totally immersed in the deer. The things you see. The things you see. So that made my day. I was done. I came home and just watched videos and read about the 13-month calendar after that. I was just done. Oh. Pickle P says they were going for a swim after. No worries. Dixon says, oh dear. Kyle's daughter just walked past him and asked him if he broke the toilet. You should probably get that looked at, dude. You really should get that looked at. You've been saying it's because of the high protein diet. It's been a long time. I like any diet change. I only like go through a period, I think, of change, and then it evens out. I think you've been like 3 weeks now. You probably should get that looked at. You might have something stuck in there. There he is. There he is. High protein diet. I don't know, man. Oh, anyway, it is Thursday, guys. It's leap year. Make the best of your free day, your extra day. We saved them up for 3 years. Now we got it. We did the savings. We got those quarter days. We're in the 4th year. Make the most of it. Don't waste your day. Don't waste your dash. This is your bonus days. Tomorrow, I think I got to dive into some more TikTok conspiracies. The list is starting to add up. Anything else that comes up from my day to day, it should be pretty uneventful, but you never know. I'll just be around here doing videos and not doing a whole lot. But you never know what'll happen. But we'll talk some more TikTok conspiracies. Gonna get to finally get to Rachel's question about whether the Trump conspiracy theories with the book and the time travel, if that was proposed by pro-Trump people or anti-Trump people. I've been looking into that, and the answer may surprise you. But that's what we'll do on Friday. That's what we will do on Friday. Pickle Pete, have a good one. If you guys have nothing to do and you, oh my God, it's a Norman quake. If you guys have nothing to do and you want to go hang out over on the Food Forest Farms Web's YouTube channel, Brian's going to be rolling for another hour over on the West Coast. I think he called himself the Sensei by the Sea, I guess. Yeah, so I'll get a bunch of those, guys. If you got anything you want me to dive into, if you've seen something on TikTok, you can forward it to me. You can follow me on TikTok and send me a message. You can send me a direct message on TikTok. I don't give a shit. It'll be interesting if I ever get it, because I've had people tell me they've sent me stuff and I've never seen it. And then I also get a bunch of spam shit. So forward away your TikTok conspiracies you wanted to put into consideration. I'm at the Lots Project everywhere, so you can find me, no problem. And maybe your conspiracy will make it to the show tomorrow morning. Beyond that, guys, I'm going to make it a good day, a good productive day, get a bunch of videos edited, get some more filmed and get those up. Amazon month comes to close today. Extra day of earnings there on the Amazon month. So I'm excited. It's going well this month. We are up from January, up in monthly revenue. Everything across the board seems to be going up a little bit. And I'm excited to see what happens going forward. So anyway, guys, let's get out of here. Enjoy your leap day year. Enjoy your February 29th. Make all the stupid dad jokes you can. Figure it out. I mean, there's a bunch out there. And hey, have an awesome day. If you, I appreciate y'all listening. If you enjoyed the show, please consider doing the free things like hit that like, share, and subscribe to return value for value. Please consider joining one of the YouTube memberships or listening on a value for value platform like Podverse or Fountain.fm. Visit thelotsproject.com to find any more information on me or my links, my discount codes, my partners, and all of that. I'm hopefully getting a little bit done on the website today also. I hope you have an awesome leap day, and we will catch up with you on Friday.